This
I
is
think
your
we've
chance.
always, I know.
If you're BillyVSCO's kid, this is your chance.
Whatever way you decide to parent, there is some common things that we can all come to. And
Didn't you say your daughter was going to start getting into the social media space?
yeah, we are. We can,
let's talk about it.
let the cat out of the bag if you want to.
Welcome to the Josh and Eric Show. I'm Eric.
And I'm Josh.
And today we have a special guest, Mr. BillyVSCO.
Man,
Did I say that right?
Yeah, you did it. You did. I'm impressed. A lot of people are, hey, Vesco, yeah,
I just had to ask you. I was like, how do you say it? What is it?
Exactly.
That right there. Yeah.
We were saying it before you got here.
Visco.
BillyVSCO. So, tell you something exciting. He's from kind of where we're at, Tulsa. So, hometown Tulsa. And I'm not going to lie, I didn't know who you were.
That's okay.
Fully.
That's
But
okay.
that doesn't mean anything. I'm still learning a lot getting into this business, right?
Yeah.
But Alex comes in. He's like, "Hey, you ever heard of BillyVSCO?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Just watch him a little bit. Let me know what you think." So I watched you, lit you up, and then I was like, "Hey, Reese, my daughter's 13." I was like, "You ever seen this guy?" He's like, "Who hasn't seen that guy?" She's like, "You're gonna get him on your show." I was like,
awesome.
"Yep." I was like,
Reese is
my
definitely
goal,
doing better. So,
my goal is to beat her in subscribers. We have a challenge,
like
so
it.
stay tuned. We have like 13,000. She has like 21,000.
We're going to get her.
So I was like,
Doing
this is
it
it
right now. I love it.
Well,
she knew who you were.
Well, why don't you tell everybody, what is BillyVSCO about? How did
All
you
right.
get to BillyVSCO?
BillyVSCO. That is a funny, crazy story all together. So I've always done trick shots. I've been a kicker, I've kicked for all my life. And so I do fun trick shot stuff like that. And, I'd put them on Facebook because that's really the only social media platform a 40-something-year-old man at the time would, use.
Fair.
You guys
Fair.
started with MySpace.
You're right. Now, see, I already just missed the MySpace generation. I was just that little, I worked with some MySpacers because they were in that teen, group, and they were about 18, 19, but I just missed the MySpace too. So Facebook was where I fit in. So that's where I would post my stuff, and they would get, my friends would be supportive. Oh, that's cool. Good job, man. I'm like, okay, this is cool. But I just enjoy doing it. And so my daughter came up and, there's this app that used to be called Musical.ly. And did you guys know about Musical.ly? You didn't even know Musical.ly. So before TikTok, it was Musical.ly. Musical.ly turned into TikTok. Fun fact for you. But so I knew Musical.ly because Musical.ly was just straight. It was dance, but it was, you would lip sync. So you lip sync these songs, and that's what all the kids did. They lip synced and danced to the songs. That was Musical.ly. So it, transferred over to TikTok. Started kind of like, then it started kind of getting into a little bit of video stuff. But she's like, hey, let me make you an account over there, and we can do a dance, and then I'll put a trick shot up. And I'm like, yo, okay. It's my daughter asking.
Yeah,
I'm down. I'm whatever, dance. I'm the 40-year-old guy, and I get in there. I'll do dad dance. I can't dance, but, we'll have fun with it. So I have gotten better, though, at my dancing. It's because of TikTok. But we get in there, we she makes my account. I do one trick shot. I kick the football over the house, into the pool, into this round thing, and my phone starts going crazy. And I'm like, Drew, I didn't know how to turn notifications off, had no clue what really even, notifications at that time. This is, right before COVID. And I don't know anything about the phone except how to text somebody. And, so I hand her my phone. She's like, you're going viral. And I'm like, awesome. You're on the For You page. And I'm like, the For You what? I didn't even know what the For You page was. No clue. And so...
What is the For You page?
The For You page is like that is where you want to be on TikTok. That's when your videos, they get pushed out to the For You page. That's how you get the followers. That's how you gain the traction. But that was, at that time, that was the main, there were hashtag For You page, hashtag viral For You, and this and that. So that was the key and goal at that time, was to get on the For You page. So I was on it, and my follower count was going up like crazy, and I'm like, this is insane. So I start reading some of those comments, and they're like, that's a cool dad. That's a cool dad. I wish my dad would do some stuff like that. And, it was here and there, and I was like, wow, awesome. Okay, I'm a cool dad. Sweet. So next video, my daughter, my youngest daughter, Kenna, she turns me into a VSCO dad. So
You're going to have to
VSCO.
explain that
There's
one.
the
You're
word,
going to
right?
have to
All right.
explain that one.
So in 2019, there was and even just a little before that, there were this thing called VSCO Girls. And VSCO Girls were like the Save the Turtles. They don't like the plastic. That's where all the straws. They didn't like the plastic straws came in. They carried their water, the flasks. That's when those things became really, really cool.
I thought those were called Californians.
Right. So, I mean, it could be. It started on the West Coast and maybe it trickled over. And just instead of California, it transferred to VSCO. Who knows? But they wore the little the hair ties on their arms. And so it's just a funny video, turn my dad into a VSCO girl. And, at the end, I'm like, #save the turtles. And it was just, and they do the oops and they drop their flask. And it was a funny video. So reading those comments there, that video started to go stupid. That's when I realized I had to turn notifications off. I'm like, I don't even know how to do this, but I need to turn them off because my phone just kept going and kept going. Thousands of comments later, you start reading those and it's all about, I wish my dad would spend time with me like that. I wish my dad would do something funny and stupid and silly with me like that. And I'm like, Howard, I didn't have a clue. I just, assumed dads, did that stuff with their kids.
Yeah.
And evidently a lot of them don't.
Yeah.
And so we found a huge need that we are going to inspire dads across America to do better, and just spend some time with their kids and talk to your kids. They're pretty freaking cool,
Yeah.
And so that's whenever people were starting to say BillyVSCO, and I'm like, that sounds a lot cooler than Billy Perry, I'm
Yeah.
like, so BillyVSCO it was from then on. I did not give myself that name. The followers kind of took that over, and from then on, that's how we became BillyVSCO, right there. From a
second
VSCO
episode on Facebook.
So-
it was probably probably third or fourth video, somewhere around there.
So what did you said the first one went viral? What was the first video?
That was the one where I kicked the
And then how many
football
followers
over-
did you get on that?
Probably about 7,000 followers off of that
my gosh.
video.
One little kick.
Off
Yeah.
of how many views?
Oh golly, I'd have to go. I think it has about 700,000 views, something like that.
And then what was your second video that went viral?
That was probably the VSCO dad one.
Girls.
You
And
know,
there
and,
were
and
some-
there were some of them that did very well, but these are the ones because you got to think that was golly 4 years ago, and man.
So if I catch all this up, you made a couple of videos with your daughter. You started to read the comments, and it sounds like you felt just driven at that point when you read all those comments. You were like, "This is my niche. This is what I can do to help."
This is
That's
it.
what it sounds like.
This is
And then
it.
You rolled with that, with all the comments, and then you are what you are today on BillyVSCO.
Absolutely,
From that moment.
That's crazy.
absolutely.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Hit it
And then-
right before COVID.
So you had a job.
We did. And we still we own a roofing and construction company, my wife and I.
Okay.
But we don't do anything. If you guys need a roof, though, I know a guy. I can get you a roof. But we don't do anything with that anymore. We are full time influencer, creators.
You're full-time
And
creators.
Full-time creator.
So you went from making a few videos on Facebook to part-time as a hobby with your daughters, right?
Strictly part-time.
Yeah,
Having fun.
like just
My
having
daughter
fun.
just
Like,
asked
yeah,
me to do
whatever.
a dance. And,
You're
yeah.
like focused on your construction company.
Yeah,
And
that
you're
pays the
looking-
bills.
And then
at
next
this
thing you know,
time, so-
viral. Then you're like, oh, we might got something here. And you just continue to post, add in TikTok, and then just boom.
That's it.
How many
That's it.
followers? So how many followers do you have on TikTok right now?
12.9 million.
Okay, I said 13,
million.
but might as well, it's coming.
It'll be
it's
there
coming.
soon.
It's coming.
Yep.
So how long have you been doing TikTok?
Since we started that first video of kicking the ball over the house was August of 2019.
And I watched your YouTube, right? You don't have near the followers on YouTube.
No, we did long form video back then, a lot, and it just kind of got a little time consuming at that time with with everybody in school. At that time, we had Darian was in high school, Drew was in high school, Kenna was in school, so it just kind of life was. It's hard to make those long form videos at that point in time. So we're these 15, 30-second videos were fit right in our schedule perfect, and so that's kind of where we put our main focus at that time.
So how do you when did you start making money on this?
So this is
you
kind
started
of a
in
cool story.
2019,
Yeah,
right?
2019. I wish I remember the time and date of when we got our first brand deal, but it was from the Pink Hippo. I don't even think they're still around because it was an energy drink. And it was in like like the almost looked like the 4-hour shot or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It was kind of like that. They sent it to us and they paid me $50. And we were blown away. We were like, no way. You're going to pay me $50 for just putting your little bottle in my video. And so I kicked a football off my daughter's face and we made we made $50 off the video. And I was just like, this is awesome. $50 for that. And we still got the bottle sitting up in our, we got it, and so.
And when was that?
pretty cool.
How many followers did you have at that time?
Oh, I mean, maybe 100,000, maybe 50,000.
Hold
I
on,
can't
you started
somewhere
making
in
money
there.
at 100,000 TikTok followers?
Well, $50
Yeah,
for,
I mean, still.
for a hippo video, which
But-
which we never even set out to do this.
Yeah.
We're just having fun, trying to make a difference, in the world with some positive content, and so that's kind of how that.
That's
went down.
crazy.
So
Yeah.
I got to know where are we at today with it. So you're saying you're doing it full time.
We are. So right now, I'll tell you, we for
Is it
one
all
video.
brands? Is it all basically branding or?
It's a lot of brand deals, and we have an agent. I underscore talent agency. They are phenomenal.
Really?
They are amazing. My direct guy agent is Noah. That's who I work with. But he sends us deals. It's 15% is how that works.
You get 15% or they take.
They get 15%.
Okay.
Yeah. We get 85%. So
That's still pretty good. And
it's
they find
really
all the
good.
deals?
It's really good because here's the deal on branding contracts. It's mind blowing. I mean, my wife is the brains behind all that. So when all that stuff does come in, that's why the roofing and construction company worked well. I mean, she was the brains, and I just knew how to go out and talk to people. That was
Shake
it.
hands
So
and-
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's still working.
So, and it is still, we do not, what works, you keep it, you don't change it. And so that really works. She's not a huge camera person, but she will be in video. She's been in plenty of videos, but she likes the other side of it. And it works out great. I mean, we feed off of each other's strengths, and and you got to whenever because Lindsay and I we've been married 21 years, in July, it'll be 21 years. And so thank you. And to be, let's see, we had our roofing company started in about just right before 2013, I think. And we've been pretty much together, working side by side in the house since then. So, yeah. So you better like your spouse if you do
I'd
that.
say so.
That's a lot of time.
I'd say so.
And she's definitely my best friend. We have such a blast doing this, and
So you started this. You made your first $50.
oh yeah, that's where we're going with
Yeah.
it.
And
Yes.
then you
Okay.
continued to. I'm sure that you just like the next. What was your next biggest deal? 50. What was your
You
your
know-
mile marker first was just getting paid.
You're just getting paid. I mean, to
Yeah.
get fit, that was freaking awesome. That
then
was
what?
so cool.
Well, then
And
when
you're
you're
like
like,
try to break even, or you didn't have
We
to
got,
do that.
yeah.
That's
So
exactly what it was.
we got, there was $100 came through, and then what really started coming through was they were paying us to dance to songs, because at this time creators wanted their songs heard on TikTok. And so they wanted viral creators that, had the potential to go viral, to push out their songs so people could just hear it. So those songs, they started, paying from anywhere from $200 to $500 per song. And I'm like, you're getting an old, dad to freaking come out here and dance and
was
just
it kind
get
of
it played.
awkward at first?
What's crazy is it wasn't. I mean, and I think that's why it just became so, because it's like, okay, cool, throw the camera on, let's get it. Who cares? I'm just one of those. I don't. I do care what you think of me, but I don't care, if that makes sense.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I'm
I'm the
saying? In a
same way.
respectful way. I
Yeah.
want you to like me. I'm a respectful guy, but at the end of the day, if you don't like me, that's okay too.
Yeah, you're not doing
know?
anything to harm.
I'm not doing anything to, that's your own choice if you don't like me. And, that's what's funny even to this day, is some people that don't necessarily like our gentle parent. If those guys, those hard dads that come on there sometimes, like, oh, this is bullshit, and this is, ridiculous and whatever, if they would go out and we had a beer, we had a,
Yeah.
they would, I mean, I have no doubts. They would just really get to know me, and they would see like, oh, he's not a bad guy.
I would agree. Like
Yeah.
meeting you,
You never
appreciate
know
that.
what to
I
expect.
Yeah,
appreciate
like
that.
we've
You
had some
don't.
different guests,
You
guests in
don't.
here,
Yeah.
and some of them
Yeah.
are like, okay, I could probably hang out with that guy. Some other times I'm like, yeah. And then like I feel like you have that upbeat personality,
Yeah,
positive
I appreciate
personality.
that. I pride myself
See-
because I do kick a football team. Well, I don't anymore. I coach now, but we can talk. But
Well, he's
My
wearing his
kicking-
team right there, right?
all right, Tulsa Oilers.
you
Tulsa
go.
Oilers.
Arena football. Yeah,
Yeah,
check
baby.
us out. Check us out for sure. It's a good time.
He's a
Great
coach
family
there.
atmosphere, and I pride myself because kickers are weird. We're weird people, and I joke with that knows kickers and my other coaching staff. I'm like, I promise you guys, I'll be the most normal kicker you've ever met in your life because we're weird.
No, you're
We
still
have our
not
own
normal. You got
quirks
13 million TikTok
but we do.
followers.
Then that's what they say. You are not freaking normal, man. So, but in a good way.
A normal
So,
person doesn't get 13 million
I
TikTok
would agree.
followers.
So I think we all got to ask, right? Is you've had a couple viral videos at this point.
just a few.
What do you think separates a video that doesn't go viral from which one it does?
Okay, so several things. You have to give yourself because there's no guarantees that you can make. Even myself, that I'm going to make a video and it's going to get 1 million views. You just can't guarantee that. Now I have a better chance because I do have 13 million followers.
I would agree.
But at the same time, if we were all on an even platform, the best thing you can do for one is be consistent with videos. And what I mean consistent is I say one a day. If you're doing short form videos on one of those, on TikTok, Instagram Reels, anything like that, you need to put out one a day.
7 days
Just
a
to
week.
be, yeah. That's what we did to get it going. And we were very consistent with it. And you can't overkill it. You can't throw out 4 or 5 because then the algorithm's going to think, okay, this guy's spam. He's trying to push something out that he probably shouldn't. But the other things are what people don't, is they want that clear video, a good filmed video. You can't, and no disrespect if you have an iPhone 8 or whatever, but your chances of not going viral or going viral are going to be a lot
quality.
in the quality of the
Yeah.
video, your lighting, how it's shot, different things like that. Right now, TikTok is pushing out 1-minute videos. That's the only thing that TikTok program is paying on right now is 1-minute videos.
How do you?
Where do you learn that at?
I guess being on there for a while from Lindsay, my wife. She's the brains. So she tells me, hey, we got to make 1-minute
tells you
videos every
this.
now and again. She tells me.
She's like,
hey,
make
the only way
1-minute
we're paying-
videos.
Here's the recipes. Can you handle this? I'm going to serve it to you.
So-
Make
And-
a 1-minute video and hold this.
Exactly. And so that's the key too, is we don't make 1-minute videos every day that we go out. We
you're
we
too
still
bu-
do our
he's too
15:30. But they're right. Definitely not. At this point in time, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So I do have some time in the schedule now that we can do the 1-minute videos.
Yeah.
So
That's
And
funny.
we enjoy it. Josh and I, that's what we always talk about is, we're trying to just get good content out to people, quality content.
That's it.
Right? And
That's it.
do this, right? Because we really enjoy it. And we have a lot of knowledge in different areas, right? Different than yours that we can share and help different people. So
stay in a niche, because you do have, but that's the key too, is stay in a niche, stay in something that if I watch your video, which I have seen you guys' podcast, so I know a little bit, you give me something that I want, you know what I'm saying? You give the viewers info that can actually help them. And that's huge. You have to do that, as well. And it needs to be entertaining, in an entertaining
That's
way.
what
It
we gotta
can't
do a
just
better
be,
job of.
yeah, and that's okay. There's some people out there that are just killing it by saying, it's pretty basic, simple, but it's cool. But they've been doing it for a little while.
Yeah.
But yeah, you need something that's funny, entertaining, niche, and I need to watch it. I get something from watching it.
So how often do you shoot?
Oh, the beautiful thing about having, we have so many videos now, so many we can put up some that people have never seen before. So we don't have to shoot near as often as we used to. But we still will shoot probably 3 to 5 videos a week, maybe something like that. And, I know we're going to get into it, but we've got something new coming that's kind
Stay
of
tuned, folks. We got something
exciting.
really exciting to tell you.
Yeah.
How
About
many,
BillyVSCO.
since you're doing this full time, how many people do you have in the background? How many people are working with you to make this successful?
That's the cool thing about it. It's my family. I mean, it is literally Lindsay, Drew, Kenna, and Darian.
So you
I
guys
mean,
do all your own editing.
we do our stuff. We do have an editor, and we met an unbelievable editor sitting back here behind the camera.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys know Alex,
Yeah.
amazing. But we had an editor in Florida. We still use him for our short form and things like that, if we need, especially on branding deals, which I don't think we ever got back into that.
Yeah. So how much money are you making, Billy?
Yeah.
So and I don't want to say that, but I do want
Damn
to
it,
say,
just tell us.
right? So we did a
Plus or
Toyota
minus
contract,
100 a month.
right?
Oh,
We did
he
it-
started out. He's like, "When we got this contract, man, these contracts are really, really tough to read when you got stacks of them."
And the beautiful thing
I
about
hire
it, though,
my full time to read our contracts.
right? And that's the beautiful thing about having an agent is they do have the legal offices to go over all that.
When you
as
get
well,
that many
too.
contracts, the agents come.
The agents come and they
gotta try
will
harder, Josh.
look over that. Yep, absolutely. So our best one time making one video, it was a 60-second video for Toyota. We got $55,000.
How much?
$55,000.
Oh my gosh.
They
For a
sent
60
an
second?
entire crew to our house. Now, don't let that fool you. We did work all. We probably shot about 8 hours of content for
Oh,
a
55,000
60-second video. But they sent a whole entire crew out to our house. It was amazing. Like and to back this Toyota truck, they sent in this beautiful 18-wheeler, and the car comes rolling off of it, and we keep the car for like a week. And just do whatever, and the camera crew followed us around and did what. I mean, it was a really cool experience.
Yeah, that's neat.
And to be able to do that with your family, it's awesome.
Yeah, your neighbors are probably like, "What the?"
They already know. They're just like, oh, it's BillyVSCO. Don't worry about it. I'm sure if they have friends over or something, they're like, what's going on? Oh, that's Billy. Don't worry about him.
Being now you're in directly social media, and we know brand deals. You can get paid that way. Is there any other methods? Like, does Google pay you for your views?
Okay, so yes, you get paid YouTube.
Billy, what he's asking is, what should we do? How do we make
Okay,
money?
so 1-minute videos on TikTok. That's
writing
where
that down,
you
Alex?
now and make sure that you're in the creator program. So you do have to look at some stipulations, find out the creator program, make sure you're actually signed up for it, in it, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
It should be pretty easy if you go on your backlogs of TikTok, things like that. But yes, so you will get paid on 1-minute videos if they're hitting a certain point. Facebook pays extremely well. Facebook.
How do you make money on Facebook?
Same type of deal, views. Just
They pay
views.
just like Google.
And like AdSense. I mean, that's where our
Yeah.
YouTube comes from. Yeah,
Oh, I mean, YouTube.
Yeah. But our AdSense, Google, that's
A certain amount of
where
dollars
that comes
per 1,000
from.
views or
Same with
something.
Instagram Reels. Same deal.
So you're just getting paid all different types of
And
directions.
on every platform.
Yeah.
Every platform. And like I said, it's key. It's key to post on every platform.
So
Do you
have
feel
you,
like?
Go ahead.
Do you feel like that they transfer like your viewers from TikTok? Did you push them to the Facebook, or how did that?
Back in the day, absolutely. There were little tricks of the trade that we would post a video on. Now, viewers don't like it because what you do is you throw out a TikTok and you tease the heck out of them. You show a TikTok and it just cuts off right at like, what are you doing? You're leaving me hanging. And it's like, go to my Instagram to see the rest of it. So that was a trick way back in the day. I don't know if you can get away with that now because, some viewers are like, screw this. I'm not going to go and, go to all. But back in the day, that was what you did. You kind of tricked them to get over there. But, the key is to just keep pumping out the videos consistently. And that puts you on those pages that are getting seen to new followers, that people that don't follow you.
So you think that if somebody doesn't matter who's watching this video, right, or what type of material or content they make, if they are consistent,
It does matter to a certain extent. To a certain
but if
extent.
it's quality content,
Over consistent content too. Consistent content as well.
Consistent content over a long period of time, it's a winning formula.
It's a winning formula. You will give your chance the best chance to go viral.
What do you think somebody like Eric and I, you see our setup,
Yep.
right? You watch a few of our videos.
Yep.
What do you think?
Dude, I'm already looking out back over here. I'm seeing
Yeah.
ponds. I'm seeing greens. I'm seeing basketball courts, pickle courts. I'm seeing some cool. A raccoon eating a freaking
Yeah,
hot dog,
true.
literally over here. Might be a rabbit raccoon.
Yeah,
I don't know.
funny
But
business. We attract some weird
You
species
know?
around.
We were in a
But-
meeting and there was this raccoon just kept walking around back behind us, and he's worked his way all the way to the middle of the building.
yeah,
So we
Just
started this
something
in
to go.
late November. Let's just say we started the first of the year, right?
Yeah.
2024. What do you think we should be at by the end of the year? We're throwing out 2 or 3 shorts a day per platform and
Okay.
1 long form video per week.
man, I love it. I mean, I would set a goal for. I mean, at the end of this year, I mean,
Yeah.
I'd set a goal for 100,000.
It just takes 1 or 2 videos.
And it just takes 1 or 2, and that, if you got that kind of traction, that could easily translate into 500,000. That could translate into 1 million. I mean, there's been people that catch on so quick. I mean, in 3 months, you could have 1 million followers.
Yeah.
It's a rarity, but I say a rarity. It happens more than you think.
Really?
It really does.
Is 100,000 followers, like, where do you think, okay, we get 100,000 followers. What could you expect somebody like Brain Deals? What would you think that we'd make if we had 100,000 followers? Because we see these people all the time that have 50. And we interviewed one that Limbo Steve had like 50 or 70,000 followers.
Yeah.
We see many other people that have right around 100. We always wonder, like, what are those guys making?
I mean, you could legitimately, you could start making $2,000 to $5,000, possibly more. With, I mean, you guys
Per video?
What y'all have out? Yeah, and for a brand deal,
Yeah.
something like that. But then you're also monetizing off of views that you've got because you've built up to that. But I've seen there's millions of guys that would love to have what y'all have. Y'all have a lot to offer. As far as y'all's minds and business, I can already tell you guys are ahead of the game, big time. You have a lot to offer. Somebody that's really eager and wants to, just be motivated in making a living.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just kind of we're new to this too, right? I'm 37 and you're 37. And what's interesting to me, like, I feel like I'm old to be getting into this. And don't take this the wrong way.
Yeah, I mean,
but you're 50 years old. At 50 years old,
50.
you don't see 50-year-old people making TikTok and be like, hey, I'm going to make my living doing TikTok. You don't see
just
that.
don't see it.
You're a unicorn.
And I think the best thing about it, though,
Now,
was
after meeting you are a young 50.
I appreciate
Like
that.
you-
I appreciate that.
energetic.
Thank you.
Yeah, like you don't act
Yeah.
50, Some people act like they're 70 when they're 50.
Right. Absolutely.
I could still see you kicking the shit out of a football at back.
I appreciate that. I was just kicking last year. I was player of the year in the indoor football league, so in the CIF. So and ended on a high note because I was signed with Colorado and I got cut from college. Didn't expect that. 3 days before the game, owner
Wow.
calls and says we're going to go with the younger leg, and I was like,
Okay.
that hurt. That hurt. That was and I didn't know where I was going to go, or what I was going to do, and and Marvin Jones, he's head coach of the Oilers. 11 years with the New York Jets, probably the best linebacker that's ever played in NCAA history. Definitely, arguably, you could make that case for him. He's in the NCAA Hall of Fame. But I got the privilege to play against him in my playing days and beat him. And so he's always remembered the old kicker that got the best of him. And
Really?
so I reached out to him and he, I'm super grateful that he gave me the opportunity, and here I am, special teams coordinator of Tulsa
Oh,
Oilers.
he's coaching
so,
here in Tulsa.
yeah.
Does he live here?
Yeah, for in season. I mean, he has a house in Alabama, but yeah, he's here. So
Really?
yeah,
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's pretty neat.
Yep.
So, Billy, you still have not answered the damn question.
What's the damn question? What is the
How much money
question?
you making,
How much
brother?
money we making? I mean,
Okay.
if you Google me right now, I think Google says we make about. I think it says we're about 500,000, something
That's
like that.
freaking crazy. Hey, listen.
Which is
Meeting this guy, you would never know he's making any money. You would not even know you're a TikToker. Like, if
I
well,
appreciate that. And here's the deal. I wanted to touch on that a while ago. I never set out to do, you know what I'm saying, to like, this is what I want to do for a living. I never set out to do that. And I think that makes a difference too.
I think so.
Because I see it with you guys. You guys enjoy the hell out of this. It's
Yeah.
not
We do, actually.
You guys enjoy it. And you guys are kind of similar as I was, I had a successful business going.
Yep.
And it was just, I enjoyed doing it, with my kids. and doing the trick shots and inspiring dads. And it it was never set out to make money. It was never set, it wasn't. And I think that's what made us successful, because we didn't care. I didn't care what went out there. It was just, hey, this is cool stuff. This is positive stuff.
No, your videos are all positive, right?
Yeah, which is cool. And that got me thinking earlier when I was thinking about what I was going to ask you. If you had everybody's ear, every dad in the United States, what would you tell them if you had all their ears?
It's easy. It's really easy. Talk to your kids. And what I mean by talk, though, talking also means listening. So it's a two-way street. No matter what parenting style you have, gentle parent, harsh parent, strict parent, whatever, if we can all sit down and talk to our kids about hard shit, I mean, when I say hard shit, I mean some hard shit. Talk to them about anything and everything. If you can do that, it'll change your lives. It will change your lives. At 40 years old and you're 70 years old, I promise you're going to have a freaking awesome relationship with your kids. They're not going to put you in the craptastic nursing home.
How do you build that?
They're going to take care of you.
How do you build that report?
Okay, so that starts, and everybody says now, if you got them young, I mean, that's great. I mean, it starts young. It definitely starts young, but it can work at any point. And that's what I tell parents, because they're like, well, mine are long gone. They're 14, 15, and they won't even open the door for me now. If that's the case, 100%, no matter what your kid has done, at some point in time, as parents, we've all made a mistake. So somewhere down the line, there's been a mistake made. And the best first thing you could do is you can just go tell them you're sorry. You can be like, I know that I've jacked up. Even if you don't, I promise you, somewhere, some way, somehow you have jacked up with your kid. And if you can tell them you're sorry, whether that starts the conversation today or not is a different story, but you have planted the seed that, hey, and don't use the word but when you say that, because I'm a firm believer, if you say but, whatever you just said before that, you didn't even mean it, Don't you walk in there? I mean, give a legit. If you don't know how to do it, Google how to say a sincere apology.
Chat GPT, I'll write you one.
Yeah,
that
amazing.
right there. I mean, hadn't life changed? I mean, it's amazing.
That's
Chat
crazy.
GPT. But apologize to your kids. Talk to your kids. Change whatever parent you are, and let them talk to you. Whether you explain why. If you don't agree with them, explain. Don't just say, hell no, that's not, I mean, that's stupid, or my way or the highway. Explain to them in depth why that could be, why we're going to go a different direction than what they're thinking. And
How many kids do you have?
I have three kids.
I got 2 kids, a younger,
Okay.
2 and 5. So I'm at that prime time.
You're in that. I mean, they're soaking everything up right now.
And this is what Josh and I were always talking about is, we're entrepreneurs, and, the unfortunate thing is right now we're putting a lot of time in, right? And having that time away from your family, and then we don't get to see them all that much.
Yeah.
Right? So when we do, I'm always active, and I'm taking my daughter to go skating or just doing something with
That's
them.
it.
Right.
That's why when we leave here, we don't hang out a lot because we're here so much together.
It's
you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
half time on the weekend, everybody's like, you guys just hang out all the time. I'm like, no, we actually don't hang out pretty much anything outside of work. Not because we don't like each other. It's just like,
No,
Yeah, we don't have enough
but
time.
you want to make that bond with your family.
yeah.
it's
And,
more
or our
important.
wives would be like,
Or that.
what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah.
So your kids, they're like, holy crap, my dad's famous.
It comes with some interesting stuff, because they never ask for this, Now Drew might have. I mean, it might be because she did say, "Hey, can I make you an account?" And, she put the stuff out. But in all seriousness, no, she did not ask for any of this. And there's been times, Drew especially, of all of them, Darian's like, oh, cool. You like me because my dad's cool? Awesome. Freaking sweet. Yeah, I mean, he's the most laid back kid. I love it. I love his attitude because I've always taught him, if you bullies mess with you, man, he got it. If you don't show them a reaction, you don't care, they're over it, you know? So he's the one that got that. But, my 2 girls, they're, it's different. It's different. They live and die by, words a lot. Now my 19-year-old is getting to the point where she's like, I was kind of stupid for doing that, because now I see the people that did that. It's like, why would I even care what they think, you know? And my youngest daughter, she's kind of in that right now. So she's a sophomore in high school. High schools, man, it's
different.
I got a 13-year-old daughter.
Yeah, it's coming, man.
Yeah,
it's here. It's here. Yeah.
They just go in hibernation mode.
Yours does?
Yeah, but she don't.
I'm not there yet. My daughter's only 5, so. But I got some friends of mine. They're now getting of age where they hold decent positions, right, around Tulsa and the surrounding areas. And one of them's a principal.
Yep.
And he's just telling me, I don't tell you where it was at, but he said that high school now compared to when we were in it, and we graduated in 2006.
Yeah.
He said it has just changed.
It's unbelievable. It is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So everything's starting at an earlier age, is what I understand.
100%.
Yeah.
No doubts about it.
Right?
It really is.
So are your kids gonna be? Are you telling them they're seeing the success you're having? Right.
Yes.
They're like, man, that's pretty good work-life balance.
But right, I mean, and that's the beautiful thing is because
my dad has the followers.
Right, and so when they're younger and it started, it was really freaking awesome. It was really cool. This is really cool, really cool, really cool. And then Drew especially she was right in that age. She was in high school, just starting to go to high school, and so she got caught in that crowd that I want to meet your dad crowd. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to meet your dad. I want to meet your dad. So I'm going to be cool with you. You're going to think I'm your friend. And then it's just, and so she saw right past that real quick. And I was very proud of her. And I've always prided myself when my kids bring people over to the house, it's like, hey, how are you doing? Good to see you guys. And I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm gone, because I don't want that for my kids either. It's not about, I mean, it's important for them to build their own relationships and not because somebody wanted to meet me. And I'm very proud of Drew for realizing, and Kenna's done it. Kenna doesn't, I think people already know with her, she's just she has that attitude like, no, screw you, if you don't like me, and so I'm kind of proud of her for that, but it was really weird for Drew to, because she would be at parties where I wouldn't even be at, and then it'd be like, oh, this is BillyVSCO's daughter, and
So people around Tulsa, like when you go grocery shopping, somebody this is something I really kind of like.
It looks like the face of a guy who doesn't go grocery shopping anymore.
Like, this is a serious question. Like,
we do. I mean, man, if you're not using the apps to get your grocery shopping,
my wife, that's all she is.
Right? That's me too.
Fair enough.
She's like, oh, don't worry about that. That's just the girl. I'm like,
I swear, my wife's like, do you need anything from the store or anything? I'm like, I don't know why. She's like, well, I'm just trying to hit my minimum order. I'm like, this is your fourth order from Target
for the
today.
day. Yep.
Minimum order is like $75. Like, what are we buying here?
That's it.
So, Billy, do you think kind of your rise in social media had any negative effect on your kids?
To a certain extent, yeah. Not horrible by any means, because if anything, it's given them a lot of cool stuff. It really has. But the only negative I would say is I think Drew going through, people using her because of that. And she just was right. Crazy.
And that's what I was thinking.
One deal. Yep. But she got smart and figured it out. So that was cool. But other than that,
public school kids or private school?
Oh, public.
Yeah.
And I was just a firm believer because Lindsay and I talked about this, and I think I kind of sold her on my philosophy. If you're in private, that's cool. I'm one of those guys. I
went to Hominy America,
but just my experience, man. You want to get your, it's funny. Parents are always like, oh, you don't teach your kids the real world. You know what? My house is a safe place because they go to freaking public high school.
Yeah.
They're getting the real world at the public high school, and that's just always been kind of my philosophy. Is hey, let's throw them out there. And because private school, I feel like there's nothing wrong with private school. Do not get me wrong if that's what you want to do, because that's great. But and there's some craziness at private schools,
sure,
let's be real. But public school, I'm just a firm believer is, hey, you're going to meet every walk of life in that high school that you would out in the real world. And
private school has better drugs, probably.
They probably do. Right? Right?
Probably high quality
Straight
food.
from the, that right there.
So you got 3 kids, right?
3 kids.
Which one's your favorite?
Oh, golly. What we do for one, we do for all.
I had to ask you.
I mean, I So funny story. When my son came, I mean, obviously you get the boy first, and you're
Yep.
just like, man, this is cool.
Can't
You
get any
know,
better
this
than
is
that.
awesome, right? Then my daughter comes. I mean, it's like, oh my gosh. So here's the deal. My third one comes, and I'm like, you know, whatever. At this point, I didn't care, but I get another daughter, and I'm just like, I really felt like I was like, how am I going to literally love? I mean, how do I love as much as
The other two.
the other two,
Yeah.
and especially Drew, having that daughter, dad. I mean, that's just a cool bond. I mean, son dad is cool too. Nothing wrong with that, but it's so. And when Kenna came, I was nervous about it. I really was. I told Lindsay, I was like, man, I feel like I'm almost in a way like, if a dad could cheat on his kid, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm like spending time with this kid that I shouldn't be spending time with because I got Drew to be spending time with. But then as soon as she came, it just all fell right into place. But it was a weird feel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was a weird feeling about how do I make this time right and equal of this bond that I've already formed with Drew. And it was such a cool thing because when Kenna came, it just all rolled right into place. And
My niece is named Kenna.
and it's McKenna, but we call her Kenna. And when she was little, we called her Kenny, and but she's like Kenna. I like Kenna.
So
yeah,
you, when you drive around town, how many followers did you have when people started noticing you?
Oh man, let's see.
Because you're kind of make content a parent could watch.
Yeah,
You make content
A kid
that
can
a
watch?
kid could watch.
Yeah.
It's not a bunch of
We're-
foul language. It's not
Yeah.
anything negative.
Yeah.
Really, anybody can watch it. So you
yeah,
can be,
yeah.
His audience is huge.
yeah.
It really is in a wide variety, and it's funny because at first it was where we would, if high school kids were there, high school kids are they see it, adults don't have a clue yet, but over the last couple of years that has completely shifted because now it's everybody, and it's really cool. But yeah, we right out of COVID, I think after we all came out of hibernation from COVID, life had changed for us, and we did not know how much it was getting ready to change, but it
No
in
way.
a great way, in just an unbelievable blessing way.
Because you were trapped behind the doors, and he gets out.
Trapped behind
he
doors,
gets
and you
out in the
come
public,
out,
and everybody's been watching, cooped up, watching.
and
right.
they're
videos
watching me, and they're like,
TikTok all
"No
day, like,
way!"
holy shit, that's BillyVSCO.
Yeah.
There he is.
That's
my
exactly what
neighbor.
happened.
And that was a crazy thing too, because when the neighbor kids, they didn't have a clue, and then they see and they're like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. And for a while, we had to be real careful. I literally, because in roofing, everybody's got the roofing truck, your numbers on there,
jacked up.
and your numbers on there and everything, and it's like that couldn't be anymore. That couldn't be. I mean, I remember,
That fast.
that fast. I mean, my phone started. I've had my phone number for 20 years. I've had the same phone number, so I was like, I can't have that truck anymore. And that's kind of when we knew. We're like, well, we're kind of transitioning out of this anyways, and so I think it's time to go full time.
That bad.
Yeah.
So
So
social
you don't
media.
go out in the public very often.
No, I love the public. I just don't like my phone ringing at 3 a.m. in the morning,
When
even
you
if I
go
got
out
it
to
on.
eat
You know what
or
I'm saying?
dinner, you usually have somebody.
Always. And it's really funny because you see them over there sometimes and you're eating with your family, and I love to tell this story because they see us and, when somebody's eating, you're kind of like, I don't want to go disturb them, but you start seeing the phones. Like literally, we're in Moline, Illinois, getting ready to play Quad City on Sunday. Yesterday, we just played. But Saturday, we're all sitting there with the coaches, and all of a sudden, this one section, the whole section, figures it out, and you start seeing cameras just start sliding up and sliding up. And so I just walk over and
You're
I'm
more
like, "What's
famous
up,
than
you guys?" So I walk up, yeah, and but they're like, "Oh, I didn't want to disturb you while you're eating," and things like that. But in a way, we've always been this way, even in roofing, when we're on vacation, we always left our phone on because the reason we're on vacation is
Yeah.
because
Your phone's
of the
on.
phone,
It's on.
It's on. And so we feel the same way about this, I mean, because people follow us and watch our videos, they know they're supporting us and it's the same thing. You guys this is why I'm able to eat my meal, because you guys watched my video. And so you guys can come sit down with us and, and I'll you can ask me anything. We can take pictures right now. It doesn't matter. So that is
That's
one
pretty
thing.
cool.
We
That's a good
adjust
outlet.
life to, and that was one thing the coaches were like, man, doesn't that get old? And I'm like, no, that's how I'm able to do what I'm able to do.
Yeah.
You know, because of
positive way to
my
look at
people.
it.
So yeah, I'm so appreciative, and we'll take as much time, as many pictures. I mean, you know, sometimes I've had to, you know, I've been on a tight schedule because I've had to get one of the kids somewhere or whatever. But I'm always I'm like, all right, we gotta hurry.
So
I
it's
got to get her
nationwide.
somewhere.
So
So
anywhere in the nation.
anywhere in the nation, anywhere in the nation, it is insane.
Yeah.
I mean, we were in Paris in February or the end of January, and you know, it was wild in Paris, and
Wow.
even in the
What's
airports
your
in
wife
Germany,
think?
and she'll take a
'Cause you're
picture.
like, you seem like
She's
you're
like,
the-
here, I'll take the picture for you guys, because you know, there's like usually 2 or 3 of them, and she takes a picture, and
Yeah.
she, you know, she embraces every bit of it because she knows that, and that's what makes this work. If she didn't, I don't know how much I mean, we might be still in the roofing and construction business, you know, if it didn't.
Having a cute daughter, because I watch your videos.
Yeah.
I have a cute daughter too, and she makes some YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Did you find, or you had, like, my wife and I had these like discussions that are like, hey, do we turn these comments off? Because there's a lot of creepy bastards out there.
That's a good point.
You know,
Yeah. How do you treat that? I mean, it sounds like, I believe you told us your daughter was getting
you got
into
13 million followers. I'm sure there's some creepy
Oh,
things.
there's some really creepy comments. And, you know, and we were, so, and in the beginning, it was a little bit, I was on guard. I was on guard, you know, watching. If there was anything about the kids in a negative way, I deleted that comment. And nowadays, there's a lot of comments, so you can't keep up with everything. And we just, usually our rule on a video, and I've tried to pass this down to my daughter, and, you know, my son reads the comments because he thinks they're freaking hilarious no matter what they say. You know, I told you, he's the kid, he don't care, and he gets a kick out of any of it. So, but he will. But I've tried to tell them, hey, what we do is those first 10 minutes, those are your guys, those are your people, those are the ones that come out and support you. So we always try to, you know, throw something out to them. But then after that, you just leave that video alone.
Yeah.
You just leave it alone. You don't even go back. And
So you're responding to people you think they're there for the right reasons.
those are the right, yeah. They're legit asking questions, or
That's
they're legit
smart.
like, hey, that's my dad. I mean,
We
that's
haven't really had the problem of like that many comments.
engagements. Yeah.
I got you. Hey, it's coming. I'll speak it for you guys.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of been. I was like, Ashley and I really had to sit down and be like,
But
man.
it is weird. It's a weird world, and you do, as a dad, you know, we're on guard 24/7.
Yeah,
you know?
it's for real.
Seriously, and that's where, when I say talking about anything, that's when you sit down and we've had the talk. Hey, look, there's some creepers and there's some freaking idiots. Normally, those comments, though, they're going to be from a private account with no picture. And it's like, these people are just saying stuff to say stuff anyways, trolling. Now, granted, there are some real creepers out if they start getting in the DMs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, but that's stuff that you talk to her about and you explain to her, hey, there's some dangerous stuff. I know you might not think you're 13, life is, you know,
Yeah.
but you don't know what we're shielding and protecting you from. But I want to tell you, I want to let you know that.
But that would probably also give them a realization of like, holy crap, this world's harsh.
Yeah,
You know what I
need to
mean?
hear
Not
that.
everybody is, what my parents put me around 24/7. There's a whole nother side of this
whole
world.
nother side.
Well, I think, the more popular you get, right, the more chances you're going to have that kind of individual, right?
Oh,
13
no
million
doubt about
followers.
it.
The
No doubt
danger
about
in
it.
social media when you're a younger girl is probably a lot higher.
Lot
if
higher.
you have a lot of exposure like that. So
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure
crazy.
taking those steps.
And
is
we've had
very
that,
important.
yeah, we've had that talk, but again, that's key to, I think, why we were able to keep doing what we were doing with these videos is my kids they understood that I was going to give them a voice, and they could come to me and tell me their mistakes. That's one thing too, is, when they jacked up, they knew they could come tell dad, because is dad going to be very happy sometime, but dad doesn't take out his, I mean, we talk through it. That's what I've tried to tell them is, hey, there's nothing we can't talk about, nothing we can't get through, because I would rather them come to me and tell me that than them go somewhere else and try to look for advice. Because
I was actually texting one of my buddies, my son's best friend's dad.
it's a lot there.
Yeah.
My son's buddy's best friend.
It's my son's best friend, his dad.
Okay, there we
Him
go.
and I are
All right,
friends.
I was trying to follow. All right.
And I said, oh gosh, they sent me this graduation pic. I was like, we're in trouble. And he goes, because we were just joking around. And I basically said, hey, if we keep them getting DUI, getting a girl pregnant, killing somebody, we can work through the rest.
Okay, we can work through it. We can work through it.
We can work through the rest of this
That's
stuff.
what, yeah.
There's only 3 main things I don't
There's
need you to
just
do.
3
I
main
couldn't
things.
disagree.
Don't kill somebody, don't get DUI, and
I think what people, we've had that talk about the DUIs especially. I mean, we've had all the talks, but especially with DUIs, I don't think kids really even understand how expensive that is.
Sure they are.
Even, it's an unfortunate situation, but my wife's brother, he passed away from driving drunk.
oh god,
And he lasted for 20 years, immobile, completely paralyzed, completely mentally
he was alive
struggled.
for 20 years like
for
that.
20 years after the wreck too. And so my kids grew up learning that from a very young age, even at 5 years old. They knew.
That's a
we
rough
started
life.
Yeah, that hits
putting.
home close.
They're like, this is so it made that talk easier. But had he not have been there, we still would have had that hard talk as well too. But and it's not just about what you could do to yourself, but what you could do to others. People don't think about that either.
So what's your goal with TikTok? Like, what's your goal? You're at 13 million followers. I mean, how are you gonna make?
Man, there's a whole new generation coming up. I think we've kind of this. I feel like we've just graduated a class, and I feel like there's a whole new graduating class coming in.
So he's
And,
resetting his goals. It sounds like.
So it's just we're gonna continue to put out this content because every day at some point in time somebody is probably going to be a parent if you're not already, and they need to see that hey, there's some positive ways that whatever way you decide to parent, there is some common things that we can all come to and make life easier for everybody.
So you're going to continue to push out content.
Yeah.
And
I think you said something about your daughter. I was wondering, but didn't you say your daughter was going to start getting into the social media space?
Yeah. We are. We can let the cat out of the bag if you want to.
we should.
Yeah. We just filmed on what day was that? Friday. Just filmed our very first podcast.
Hold on, your daughter's involved in the podcast?
It's myself and my daughter.
Okay.
And it is.
Threw me for a loop.
I thought I heard you say that.
Yep. It is
This
called.
the thing I was going to announce. Okay, let's go right into it.
We cheated. We jumped
BillyVSCO
ahead.
is starting a podcast, right?
Starting a podcast.
This is the first place you've told anybody, right?
Yeah, it is. It
Heck
is.
yeah, it's
I
exciting.
mean, you guys are the big public people.
We're his
to know
inspiration.
Right now,
That's
so.
what I'm going to go with moving forward.
Hey,
Let me
in a way,
repeat
you
that.
are.
BillyVSCO is starting a podcast.
We are, and it's with my daughter.
Which makes it even more special.
Drew and I. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's called Talking Back,
Talking Back.
powered by Life 360.
Powered by Life 360.
Life 360. That's it. Great app, by the way, if you don't know it.
That is
Download
crazy.
the app.
So,
But yeah.
what is this? So right now you're kind of doing inspirational videos for TikTok and putting
Yeah.
on other videos.
Yeah.
What is this going to be about?
Okay, so we do short form videos. We kind of show bad dad, good dad, or some dads how I do things. And again, we always want to stress that what happens in our it might be different. What works in our house, it might not work in your house.
Yeah.
Basically. So what we show you on camera is just things that can, if you want to use them, you can. If you don't, that's okay. I'm never going to come on your page and tell you how to parent, anything like that. So I think it's important that people, first of all, know that I am that dad. I am the dad in my videos. Whether you agree
The
with
good
it or
side,
not.
right?
So what is
The
it?
good side, right?
Absolutely,
Okay.
100%,
Make sure clear.
100%. So that's why we loved giving Drew a free mic to tell the world, what is it like, living with BillyVSCO? What is this real side of him? And just getting raw and real and letting people see behind, pulling down the curtains and telling the good, bad, the ugly, which we really pride ourselves on that because we've done some hard videos and we've showed them that, hey, this is some of the things that we've done. Made mistakes. This is some of the things that the kids have done, and that was completely on them to do that. They've never, they're never forced. It's always whatever.
Yeah.
That's kind of our motto here.
Yeah. I was thinking the exact same
It's
thing.
our deal is we're going to show you the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yep,
Absolutely.
the business.
And business and adventure and
Yeah.
what sometimes you got to have as an entrepreneur what you have to do to get ready for that adventure.
Yeah.
Because you're leaving.
Yeah.
Yep. Or you're getting into a different space like social media.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
your daughter, whose idea was it?
I feel like it was. I mean,
This
I
is
think
your
we
chance.
always-
If
I
you're-
know.
If you're BillyVSCO's kid, this is your chance.
right? I mean, I truly feel like it was it was kind of like an aha moment for all of us. I really truly feel like that. At some point in time, we've all said, we really need to do a podcast. And, then somebody else would be like, hey, we've always said it, we need to do a podcast. And then somebody else, y'all always talked about doing a podcast. Why don't you do a podcast? And, and and finally we just said, we're going to do the podcast. And I really think it was a collective.
But you have 3 kids.
We do.
So what happened to the other 2?
So
how do they feel about this?
100% all on board. Because Kenna, she's not, she's cool with making the videos that she wants to make. If she wants to do those, she can. And everybody, if you're in the video, hey, you're on the brand contract, so you do get compensated as well too. So it's a true family business. But cool. If Darian's at college playing football, he's cool with it. I mean, he just is like, this is awesome. So he doesn't have time. He's doing his own thing anyways. And then Lindsay is, she's not the camera person. She hates to hear her voice, or, she's like, I don't ever want to look at that video again. If I'm in it, I'll be in it, but I don't ever want to see it again.
She
it's kind of
day
funny.
in and day out.
100%.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
So she's like, BillyVSCO supports yourself, Hannah, your wife, and Drew?
Kenna.
Or Kenna.
Kenna, Darian, Drew. Did we get them all? Lindsay's my wife. Yep. Darian, Kenna, Drew.
So it supports
everybody.
All those people.
Everybody.
That's
and they
amazing.
all make their share. I mean, Darian, and he knows when he can come home at any time. He'll come home on the weekends and be like, y'all got any brand deals or something like that I could, cool. Be like, yeah, we do. So come on down and get a part of it.
That's pretty cool that your whole family bought into this. It started out kind of as a joke and just having fun, and then it turns into like, hey, look, we can have fun as a family and make money.
Make money.
Why not?
And, put out some positive stuff in the world.
Yeah, and the thing about your content is very positive and uplifting. And it's just kind of like lighthearted. You know what I mean?
So when
you are a pretty good dancer. Like, I would never...
So when you
get
get this podcast going, it sounds like it's just now started.
Yeah.
Are you stopping everything else and just focusing solely on that?
No, we will still put out short form videos.
Gotcha.
Yeah, still short form. And so basically, I mean, Lindsay, and we'll set up, cameras. And so that way she doesn't, like the other day, we just set up, Alex helped us set up 2 cameras, and we were.
So let me ask you a question. So when I think of 13 million followers in my head, because I'm redneck, right? I'm thinking you have this film crew walking around. You got light camera and action guys. Yeah. Like, you're like people you can't go around. People are like pots are up.
Right?
The whole thing's
Get them to stand back.
And what do you like shoot with 13 million followers?
iPhone 15.
So like this is a pretty good setup,
and I think we have a real similar camera. Like we just have one camera. You probably even knew what it was than I do. I can't even. I mean, it's just a camera similar to that, and our iPhone 15.
So like you don't have any of that.
This looks better than this looks. I mean, this is way above my pay grade right here. So y'all are well above average of what we got going on. So
yeah, that's crazy. Because hey, folks, it's not. The neat thing about social media and the content we make, and the neat thing, there's positive and negatives, but the positive thing is you don't have to have a lot of upfront costs to make a lot of money.
You don't. That's what you really don't. You really don't.
Good content over a long period of time.
Like I said, it does pay to have a little higher upgrade on the iPhones,
yeah, but we're talking about an iPhone.
But we're
not talking about
what you think that because I've had the buddies that buy the I just had a buddy buy a $5,000 camera because he loves doing that. He loves it, and it's cool. That's what you're into, and you want to do that, but you don't have to even by any means do that whatsoever.
Yeah. We kind of trusted our last video camera guy, and he came in there and bought all this stuff, and then he keeps on adding to it. So
I think is
there's always something to there's always something. Yeah, there's always something
we're
see.
I mean, it's like, we need this, we need that.
Yep.
What I think is interesting is that I know what it takes, the sheer amount of work it takes to get to like we have like 100 employees and what happens on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
And the stress that's involved in that. And then I think of what you got going on over there. Right, with how many people? A family of four?
Yeah, there's 5 of us in the family. Yeah,
family of 5, right?
Yeah,
and
and then you put all your trust in social media, and all your friends and family probably think you're crazy.
They did at first. They did it first.
They were
I
like,
got
"He's
all
crazy."
the.
Billy
Oh
moved up the
yeah.
hill. Billy
they're-
moved up the hill.
Yeah, and they're like, you're on a what app? I mean, this is a little girls dancing app.
Oh,
you
Gary
know,
on drugs. Doing
and
what?
It's like I'm just telling y'all, it's kind of it's blowing up over there. So check it out. And now they're all like, okay, I see see why you did what you did.
I've been ridiculed a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
I
Even
haven't even
for this
listened. I
kind of
quit
stuff.
listening to those people a long time ago. If I listened to every negative comment around me and you let it get it deep in your soul, like you would never be anyone.
Yeah.
You know what's really true, and it's really stuck with me is when you do hear those negative comments, it's probably, and I don't want to offend people that throw out negative comments, so I don't mean offensive, but if you're throwing out negative comments, you might need to hear this anyways. You're probably not more successful than the person that you did that negative comment out to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, and you start to look at that, and it's 100% true. Like so you're telling me something negative, but and I don't want to sound arrogant on that, but it's true. If why would I
wasting your
listen to
time.
you? Why would I?
People that are really busy don't have time to put negativity
No,
anyway.
right.
They're
and I
constantly
couldn't
seeking
imagine.
positive.
And I'll be honest with you, one of the ways that we grew very quickly, I would get literally no joke, I would get 10,000 followers off of a comment. I would find a video, I would go through videos that I knew I could see them getting ready to go viral, and I found positive stuff to say on those videos. And those comments, I mean, I would have comments sometimes get 100,000 likes on a comment.
Wow.
On a comment on a video. Like this video would get 10 million views and my comment would have 100,000 likes and I would get followers just from commenting on a video. And I think a lot of people don't really, understand that either, is just if you don't have anything nice to say, it's,
Just don't
why say it? I mean, it
don't- 'cause
sounds,
they're bored.
it's simple, but they are.
They don't
and
have
they
enough
want
time.
that
They have too much time on their hands.
too much time.
Do
And
you
what
have
does that
time-
tell you?
Do you feel like you have time to sit on this corner and hold up a sign and or
Right.
write a comment on somebody's stuff? I don't even
No.
barely have time to. That's why I like TikTok so much. I'm like, ting, ting. I don't even get time for these people to finish their sentences. I'm like, onto the
I
next
couldn't
one.
imagine saying some of the comments, that I read.
I'm sure.
I'm
How
just
do you
like,
stay positive? Is there more positive and negative?
oh, way more
Okay.
positive than negative. Way more positive than
Because he's
negative.
doing a good job.
And again, it's when it's negative, anyways. It's just trolls, and they're just
Mainly Americans follow you.
That's the beautiful thing. I mean, we do have Australia is our biggest country. I mean, as opposed to countries that follow us, Australia is our biggest. Obviously, we have France, we have Germany, because when I've been there, I mean, they're sometimes I don't even understand what they're saying, but they're holding up the phone and they're like, hey,
That's crazy.
I know. Yeah, it really is. It really is. That's when it. Very, very thankful, very blessed that.
So let's talk about a little bit more, because you think about these, famous social media guys, women, whatever.
Yeah.
You think they're rich, they're famous. Let's talk about like the real. What does your daily life look like? Are you living in a mansion? Are you living in your car? You know what I mean? Do you drive out? I didn't see you drive up in a Ferrari, but I didn't even really recognize. I wasn't paying attention either. So, did you drive up in a Ferrari? Do you fly in a jet? Do you do all these things that you see all these other YouTubers and TikTokers that you see they have 1 million followers and they're pulling up in a Ferrari and they're driving around in a helicopter. You have 13 million followers.
Yeah.
Do you have those things?
Remember, I got 3 kids. I got 3 kids, and that really is the truth. I mean, granted, I've been very blessed to take care of our kids, and we've been very blessed to see the world, places that we couldn't go, but we've never flown first class yet, and that's still a goal of ours. We want to do that, but we haven't done it yet. I do drive a Range Rover. I enjoy the heck out of that. Love that. But no, we live in probably, I don't know, we have a nice pool and a cool house, but it's nothing, it's not $1 million house or anything like that. So we're just very, again, I got 3 kids. Yeah, I think that's the bottom line. That's
like pretty normal.
If we did not have 3 kids, now it could be a different story. We could, there might be, because
not have your show.
I want them, yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like you might not have
You
a
would
show.
you wouldn't be.
I might not even be. Yeah,
You wouldn't have your show.
No, we
That's
wouldn't. We
crazy.
wouldn't have. Yeah, think about that.
God has a plan, dude.
Yeah, no, we always say that.
Always.
We're trying to figure out what the right answers is all the time. We're sitting here thinking about we've talked about before. We've had a lot of theft going on before, like just
Yeah.
recently, right? And we're always thinking about what the heck should I do. So, didn't you have some kind of crazy theft story in Vegas or something?
Oh, dude, that was insane. That was insane. Did you hear about the Las Vegas story? I'm going to give you the fast forward version of the Las Vegas story, but that was crazy. So, probably just a couple of months ago, we're in Vegas at my daughter Kenna,
So, like
who
February.
plays soccer. February. So it would have been, I think we were there in March, in
Oh,
February,
gosh.
somewhere right in there. Yeah. It's a national soccer tournament. So Lindsay is downstairs playing on one of the casino things that slot machine. Thank you. She's down there
He
playing
doesn't
on that.
gamble very often.
No.
I do not. I literally
gamble either.
when Lindsay gambles. I mean, my thing is go get a coffee and I sit down with her and I scroll through my phone and we'll talk and have a good time while she plays. I mean, that's really.
He loves
You
gambling.
can tell her it's my guilty pleasure too.
So he's like, oh yeah, slot machine. That's
Yeah,
it.
she's in.
Right?
How do you do this all day? He won
Yeah.
$50,000, goes into the casino, wins $50,000, doesn't even make any he doesn't even get that excited. Comes out and I'm sitting there, I'm like, do you want anything? He's like, yeah. And the next day he's like, a couple days later, he's like, yeah, I won $50,000. I'm like, you mean you're not jumping
That's
up
pretty
and
calm,
down?
cool, and collected right there.
He's like, yeah, I won $50,000.
I'm a pretty passive guy. I don't
like
get
I was
really
like, how do you
worked
win
up.
like that.
$50,000? I'd never step foot in another casino.
I mean,
in my life.
it's me and you both, because I'm that guy. If I do, it's very rare. But I mean, I'm like when I'm up $20, like I'm like cash out.
Yes.
$20.
Yeah.
It's 20.
See, now
I mean, I really am.
when you win 50, you're like, hell, I'll do it again.
All
I
right, tell us
know,
about
right?
this Vegas
All right, so you
story.
got to hear the Vegas story because it is insane. I've been to Vegas so many times, never had a Vegas story, and now we got a Vegas story. So Lindsay's down on a slot machine. She's got her black backpack with her. It gets stolen. It's gone. And my daughter, she wanted one of her best friends got killed in a car wreck, very tragically, sophomore in high school as well too, way too young, but her thing was trust God on her shoes. That was this girl's saying everywhere. So Kenna wanted trust God tattooed on her. So in Vegas, it's legal if you're under 16, parent consent. You just have to have their birth certificate, driver or whatever with you, birth certificate and passport. So we've got that stuff in that backpack. They get stolen. And this is my daughter. I'm like, man, she's 15 years old. We're really going to,
you
steal
were
her
going there for
identity.
that?
No, she was playing in a soccer tournament. This was a national soccer tournament. So we're there for that. But while we're there, since it's not legal here to do that, we thought, okay, cool. In Vegas, it's 100% legal. They have to have the parent and you have to have the right documents. So she gets trust God on her. But long story short, that's why the passport and birth certificate was in that thing. So that's pretty devastating. Lindsay had won $1,200 that morning, $1,200. She had the ticket, not the cash, but she had the ticket
In the backpack.
So that gets stolen. So she has to stay there with the police to fill out this report. Kenna's got the final. She's playing in the championship game. So my wife misses the championship game because she's dealing with
And you
this.
drove all the way out there
So
for
I'm
this.
already irritated. Well, we flew out there,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
we flew out there. So, and Lindsay has to miss the finals for this. It's like, so that really starts to irritate you as a husband. Like, man, I would love to catch this guy, but you're not even, this guy's long gone. So Kenna plays the soccer tournament. She wins the championship. It's amazing because it's other countries. Everybody's, so Kenna and I go back. We had to actually get dropped off in an Uber probably about a mile away from our hotel because they shut the whole place down because there's a marathon that night. So the whole city is shut down because they run this marathon through the whole streets of Vegas. So there's no Ubers, no nothing. But when we get back to the hotel, I started thinking, I was like, wasn't there a couple of sets of AirPods in that backpack? And Lindsay was like, there was.
Tracked him.
GPS that thing.
Bam. So I don't know how to pull it out. So I give my phone. I'm like, here, one of y'all pull it up. So Kenna, my daughter, she's like,
13 million followers, doesn't know how to operate an
doesn't know how to operate an iPhone.
Good point.
That's how
Just a normal
spoiled I
dude.
am. We've got a good team. I told you, our
You can
strengths
do
are
it, folks.
anybody. So Kenna pulls it up and she's like, yeah, he's right here at this casino. Golly, wasn't Circus. I can't think of this casino, but he's at this casino. So we look at this thing, the map, it's 2 miles away. So we can't Uber because the whole city's shut down. So we're like, let's go. We got nothing else to do. We don't leave until, so, and it's cool. We're going to walk through the streets anyways, watch this cool marathon. So we're walking 2 miles. We're just laughing, but you have time to think, what if you really see this guy?
Yeah,
what are you going to do?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? And I envisioned something, what I would do. And so I'll save that. But you have that time to think, but you're just like, you're never going to see this guy. It's not going to work.
I'm going to F this guy
because he's like,
his throat.
and you see me, I'm a little guy. I mean, I don't fight, but that just really, that gets you. You took my daughter's stuff, my wife's stuff. You messed with my family.
And we missed our daughter's championship.
And I got to go with Kenna, me and her, but my wife had to sit there and miss it. So we get over there, and then, so we walk in. And then Kenna's pulling it up. She's like, yeah, they're still here. They're not moving or anything, but they're still here. So we figure he's probably saw him finally and ditched him. He's like, oh, dang, you can track those. So he threw them out. But everybody in this place, there is a pool tournament, is walking around with a black backpack. I kid you not. It was like, and then at this point, I'm like, we're in a movie. This is like a movie at this point because everybody has the black backpack. And so I'm like, the cameras have to be on us because we're like looking at, we're walking through machines and we're just looking suspicious as heck, going through here. And so and Kenna picks up the phone. She's like, they're moving. And we're like, okay. So we get a little adrenaline rush. We think it's over. Duh. And
your
she's like
back at the hotel.
No. We're all three together. Lindsay, we got my phone.
Family.
We got my phone. Kenna's got the phone, so she sees it moving. She's like, we're on top of it. We're like right here. Lindsay looks over, and a guy has a black backpack, and he's eating Cheetos, and she says to that guy, before she even says that, because I look at Kenna, I'm like, is that it? And we have no time to even say yes or anything. Lindsay says, you're eating my Cheetos. Yells it like that, and when he's eating the Cheetos, that's when I saw red. I saw red. The guy was probably, I don't know, from here to that door, 5 yards from me. I probably started Supermaning about right here, flying through the air. And I'm begging hotel after all this is over. I'm begging for that footage because I need this.
Hold on, you dove at the guy.
Dove at the guy, got him in a headlock. We went slammed into the wall. Kid you not. So by this time, you're in a casino with all these people around.
Oh my
and so
gosh.
Kenna afterwards is saying people are literally coming up and they're like, is that the VSCO dad? They're thinking I'm making either it really is going on or I'm making a video or something like that.
They don't even know.
They don't know
you
what's
have so
going
many
on.
Followers, they might think you're living in a full-time shoot.
In a full-time shoot. Yeah. I've got this guy in a headlock.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to, because I have him down, and I'm like, rip the backpack off now. Get the backpack. So Lindsay rips it off of him while I'm sitting there holding his legs, and he's like, trying to get away. He doesn't know what hit him because I just came flying from the back and like I said, we went flying into the wall. So
this in the middle of the casino.
Middle of the casino. So, and then about,
what's your
I'm
wife
sitting
doing?
here. She gets the backpack. She does. She's like, she gets the backpack, gets the stuff, starts going through it while he's got him. And so at this time, security's coming over.
2.
Right?
That sounds kind of like a wrestler's name, BillyVSCO.
BillyVSCO. And it was, Superman VSCO that day because and that's what I pictured in my head for 2 miles. I was like, if I see him, I just envision myself a flying Superman.
So what was the end result?
Headlight. I'm so irritated at this casino's security, the one that came over, because he comes up, and so when he comes up, I'm like,
what was the name of the casino?
I know, I'm trying to remember this, and I'll probably remember it by the time we get through. In fact, I need to. I'm gonna because I have to know the name of the casino.
People need to know.
They really
security.
do.
Yeah.
And so, but here's the deal. I will. What was the name of casino?
So your daughter sees the backpack. Before you're like, you guys are still
thinking... He's eating her Cheetos.
Well, yeah.
In the backpack.
You guys are still trying to figure out, that may be my backpack. And your daughter's like, no, that's my Cheetos.
No, it was Lindsay. It was Lindsay's Cheetos. It was Lindsay, so my wife's Cheetos.
And
So-
your daughter
That's
points him out, and then you
hilarious.
just dive
And she's
into
like,
it.
that's it, because she knew Mama's backpack. She knew what it was, and because it was a Lululemon backpack. And when my wife said the Cheetos, though, that's, even still that's the backpack. I'm still, like, okay, all right. But when he was eating the Cheeto, it felt like he was literally violating my entire family, and
Yeah.
that's when I just snapped. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, you're eating my freaking wife's Cheetos after
Give
all
me those
this.
Cheetos back.
Yep. And so those
Walking.
Cheetos went flying. I mean, they were everywhere. So
You gotta
nobody
get
got
that
the
video.
Cheetos after
So did
that.
you-
I
did he
know.
pass out?
I know. So here's the deal. So the Rio.
Oh,
Rio.
the Rio. I
The
said
Rio.
The Rio.
The Rio.
The
Yep.
Rio security sucks.
Rio security was not okay. So the first Rio security guy, the manager there, the manager was awesome. Of security, management of security. He was a really cool guy. But he didn't come over until later. So I get this one guy, and the guy's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I was like, dude, do not let him go to the bathroom. He is not going to the bathroom. And he's like, he steps out of the guy's way. The guy literally kind of just does that. I kid you not, the security guy flops on the floor. I'm like, dude, you're security. I just held this guy down for a minute while you got over here, and you let him do this. So I take off running.
He's running.
He's
The guy's running.
Now he's
He
on
hits the
foot
door.
over.
I'm running right behind him. We hit so we're in a point, we're like two, because Rio sits kind of off the strip.
Yeah.
So over there is cars moving, and so he goes to this one intersection, right outside. Like if you go outside the doors of Rio and turn right, whatever the street is, that's the street.
How far do you think you ran?
I mean,
He was fully committed.
fully committed.
Couple hundred yards.
Oh, easily a couple hundred yards. yeah.
gosh.
Easily a
You're
couple hundred
chasing
yards.
this guy
I'm
full-blown
at full-blown speed.
In the hotel.
And I'm like from here to the wall, and I just can't. I can't close that gap. I cannot close that gap. He hits
on,
that
Billy.
street. I know, right? He hits that street, and I mean, I'm thinking I'm gonna watch him get hit by a car. At this point, I'm like, he's gonna die because it was packed out, and so I stopped because I'm just like, okay, I'm not.
The
gonna get
people
hit by
still
a
think
car.
you're shooting.
They got to think they're in a real life movie. They have to, because there are people that came out and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you're the TikTok dad," and so I'm like, "Yep." I'm like, "Hold on, in the middle of something, guys." Now that was one time when we had to put the cameras on hold there. Anyways, long story short, he gets away. Vegas cops are cool. They come to the casino. The guy that the management of so there's these two guys that come out, and you like when you see security or think about security, this is what security should have been. I'm like, where were those guys? And they're like, if you just came and told me what y'all were doing, we could have easily handled the situation. And I said, that makes sense. Because he's like, they don't walk those guys on the floor. They're, they're for they're like special ops guys, I guess.
Yeah.
These guys are bad boys.
So bad boys. Yeah. Because you got I guess the jokers walking, no offense if you're listening. Who knows what you hear, but you needed to do better because he did not do better at all. He just let the guy run off. And anyway, so the police, so we still, to this day, I can pull up, we have his house. He still is stupid enough that he has those AirPods. He had those in his pocket because he was actually, I guess, at some point in time, probably hooked up Bluetooth to him or whatever, and he's still stupid enough to have them on. So
still have
we've
his
given
house?
that, we've turned that over to the Las Vegas police. So, and he has both the Rio and the Bellagio. Both of them have his facial recognition. So if he does walk in, I mean, he
why
will
don't they just show up at his
immediately
house and arrest him?
That's what I'm saying.
You have him at his
And
house.
we have him at his house.
Oh my gosh.
The same thing happened to us. We
Vegas.
had one of the janitors that we hired took some AirPods out of somebody through the place over here. I'm not gonna say the name, but took it out of there, and we found him at his house. They were like,
So-
"Hey, our stuff got stolen." And
So
one of
this
our
might be
people
the
did that.
this might be one of the podcasts. I mean, we might go live on our trip to Vegas to just obviously we're not going to go to the house bar. We're going to try
We
to
need
get
to go get those
something,
iPad
but
or
we need to go
iPods.
get those. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely,
That'd be great. Content.
absolutely.
We should go get those iPods.
We really should. We really should.
We should go
'Cause
knock
it
on
would
that
be-
guy's door and go get those
Yep.
iPods.
Yep. Absolutely.
Hey, we'll
Just-
fly out there with you.
Yeah,
Just let me
it'd
know.
be some
We'll go
cool
out there.
content.
That would be
I mean, it
great
really would.
content.
It really would. So yeah. So
Is
that
he
is a
like
possibility.
big guy? Like, what do I do?
Dude,
to
I
start
took him
doing?
down, so I mean, he can't be the biggest of big guys at all. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I would. I mean, Venture, he's probably about your size, is what I'm guessing. I mean, you're about my. I mean, I feel like he was
Yeah.
about my height, probably just a little bit, maybe a little bit bigger
So
than
we
me.
got
but
him.
We got him.
Three of us.
We're coming after you.
We got him. We got him. And trust me, I pick him out of a lineup. I mean, I get to, hold
Sounds
him
like you
down
got
for a
GPS to
minute.
his
So,
house.
yeah.
So it's
And the
gonna be
cops, what are the
easy.
cops saying? They're not going to arrest him?
Cops are not. The cops did try to arrest him that night. Had they found him there or wherever he was, they would have arrested him. They were super nice. Those guys that showed up that night, super cool guys.
But you have
very nice and-
he still has your
and that's
AirPods at
But
his house.
still
and
got-
you're tracking him, but they're not.
And
doing
we're
anything about
tracking
it.
him, and they're not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
where
he's
we're
just
at.
gonna go do it again.
That's where we're at. Oh, I guarantee you, he's done it again. So
He's got
yeah.
3 other pairs of
Because
iPhones.
we'll look up, and those our iPods will be in they were in Caesars the other day. So I mean, he's just running around.
He's using them.
Yeah, the man is walking around, listening. I mean, it's wild. It's
You guys
so.
are following this guy around. Like, how often do you watch this guy?
I know. I mean, just when we think about it, I mean, it might come up once a week or something. We're like, hey, let's see if those
Should we see where
AirPods
he's
are
at?
still on.
Can we
Sure
see
enough,
where
they
he's
are.
at?
Man, okay, yeah, we can. We can.
We're coming, dude. We're coming at you.
How do we get to the AirPod? Do
Find
you guys
my-
know? Yeah, how do we get to that?
This is
Find my
hilarious.
Alex, how do we get to it? Location. They are right here.
That is hilarious.
They are right there.
And open.
So we'll tell you, let's see, they're right by, what are they right by? Nora's Italian Cuisine,
Yep.
Flamingo Road. If anybody's listening.
So
and
this
knows where that
is
he's right
April
there.
29th at 5:02 in Tulsa, and they're where at right now?
Blah, 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 Drive in Las Vegas, Nevada. Right by Flamingo Road.
Right next to Flamingo.
Right by Flamingo Road, and yeah,
Who did your PR training?
and what was it?
I said, who did your PR training?
Oh yeah, I mean, right? I mean,
So
but
we're gonna go get those AirPods.
so
down.
they're still on.
I'm down.
That
Can you
guy's
believe
just,
that?
I was surprised he hasn't had somebody else's AirPods.
He probably does.
think-
I mean,
He said
and
probably
that's got to
somebody
be.
else
I mean,
in the
that's
world
that's a
took it.
Hey, you
house,
think he
right?
cleaned them?
I mean, that's a house, right?
My guess would be no.
You don't think he cleaned
No,
the
probably
AirPods
did
after
not
you
clean
stole
them,
them?
no.
I'd probably clean them before if I ever stole AirPods.
I mean, that's a house.
Stealing AirPods don't really care.
They don't care if the AirPods are clean.
He was eating Cheetos out of a purse. He's fine.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
I
They're all
mean,
good points. All right.
5 o'clock. Let's
be
see. It's
there,
3
Bob.
o'clock. 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Vegas on Monday.
So,
your
guys,
house.
if you're watching this, see us some great content. Seems like a great guy. Your videos pretty much match your personality, by the way. So if
I
you're
appreciate
wondering, If you're
that.
wondering that,
Yeah.
you see all these different content creators, and you wonder, is that guy? If you're watching this, he is the content.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I
Thank
can
you.
see
We
where it
definitely
comes-
pride ourselves on, practice what we preach. I mean, we've never tried to be something we're not, and
I think
and
it's
don't-
super
yeah.
cool that you and your daughter have this thing that you're starting, and everybody supports
Man, I'm
it.
so excited about that. So
and
excited about it.
His new podcast.
Yes,
When's your first
yes.
episode?
We're not sure of the exact air date just yet, but it is filmed and ready to go.
And it's
edited
Talkback
and-
by Life 360.
Talking Back, powered by Life 360.
Okay, there you go. You heard it.
Yep.
Tune
That's
in. I think it's going to be. Are you going to do a lot of video blasts at once, or are you gonna just kind of build it up over time?
We'll release. We're going to release one a week. Is our schedule, and so we'll have one a week, and then we'll have little teasers and trailers on every platform. So you'll be drawn to it for sure, and yeah, it's going to be a really cool project. You're gonna hear, like I said, my daughter's side of a lot of things on parenting and how she grew up and some of the stuff she went through. So
So
yeah.
if you were given some, that your daughters and your son has a unique. They grew up in a unique environment, having that type of dad that has that type of fame.
They did.
People
Man.
want to be friends with your daughters because of you. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
of your dad.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't happen in my household. They're like, hey, let's hurry up, go to my room. Let's get away
And-
from dad.
And hey, anybody that's been to my house knows 100%. I'm that guy that I will meet you and shake your hand, but you're there for my kids and I'm out.
Yeah. That's neat.
And I'm super cool, for that 1 minute I meet you, and then but yeah, their time is that's why you're there. If I see you out in public and y'all come, then that's my time, you know. But at my house when you're with my kids, that's y'all.
So you're gonna start shooting these podcasts weekly, right? How often your content
Yeah.
gonna flow out? What
Yeah.
do you is it gonna be what is this thing going to be about? Like, as far as like,
I think the question is it just going to be centered on your vision of parenting, and then it gives your daughter's vision of parenting from her side? Like,
Yeah,
as a kid side, is that kind of what it is, back and forth?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it really is, and it's gonna talk about. It's basically just gonna talk about. She does a lot of, we'll bring up subjects, and it's kind of like how we handled stuff, even when she made mistakes and what the mistake
throughout
was.
this journey you just went through about being a famous dad.
Yeah. I
Holy
mean,
crap.
just that. She's going to get into, how that was, the differences in what decisions she had to make, or, even wrong decisions because of it, or, different things like that. So, yeah, it's going to be really cool perspective to see my daughter talk about my parenting, and still yet getting my, my beliefs and input in how I became this dad. Because I just didn't become this dad overnight either. I learned a lot on social media.
Are you going to let her
Learned a
free
lot.
flow? Are you going
That's
to like
pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, we'll have a couple of topics, but yeah, it's straight free flow. I mean,
Cool.
Alex got to see. I mean, it's free flow. It's
Nice.
it's some just like I said, it's real raw and just us,
So I got a couple more questions and we'll wrap this up.
Yeah.
So tell us about the shirt you're wearing.
Yeah,
This
man.
kind of threw me off here. I'm like,
Tulsa Oilers football. That's it. Well, long story short, I got cut. Didn't I thought I was going to be kicking this year, even at 50 still. I had signed a contract and I was in up until 3 days before game day, and
Kicking at 50?
kicking at 50.
Active.
Yeah.
Active.
I mean, they can
Most
still
definitely.
hit you.
I was in one. Oh, 100%. They can. They do. Yes. Yes, they do. So 3 days before game day, I'm getting ready to fly out to Colorado for our first game, and until I got the phone call from the owner, and they decided they were going to go with the younger leg, and that hurt. That hurt a little bit, but
Kicking at 50 years old. Could you imagine getting hit right now by one of those big guys?
No, we always laugh about that. My father-in-law and I, we're sitting there watching football. We're like, man, that hurt to get hit by those guys.
And he's getting hit at 50.
it does. It
Yeah,
does.
it does.
Because you still got to kick off, and trust me, I mean, I definitely have to stick my head in a few tackles. If I don't, I can't be out there. I mean, that's part of it. So.
Well, we know your leg's good. How's your arm?
If I had to throw a ball, absolutely. I mean, you don't want me throwing a ball for you, but if I had now here is a funny stat though. In the outdoor game, I am 3 for 3. I am 100% on fake punts or a punt where I had to, end up
How
pulling
many
it
points
down.
you have?
Oh golly, points!
Yeah, how many points have you scored
No
in the-
idea.
'Cause that's considered professional football,
That's
isn't
a
it?
lot. Yeah, that's tons of. I mean, you got to think. I played for almost 7 years in Arena League. So yeah.
So what is
there's
your
quite a
son?
few.
You said your son's on football scholarship.
He's a long
right?
snapper.
And
Yeah.
does your son say, "Yeah, my dad plays arena football"? They're like, "What?"
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it was cool until it wasn't. Until they ripped it out. But hey, I was never going to make. I always knew I wanted to coach, but I was never going to make that decision on my own. So it needed to be made for me. And I truly feel like God shut that door and had this one ready to be open.
You're loving it.
And I absolutely love being exactly where I'm at, special teams coach for the Tulsa Oilers, our IFL team here. And it's amazing. Amazing.
So, how often do you have to travel with that?
Well, we just got back from Illinois up by Chicago. Played Quad City yesterday. Great game. We pulled. It was an unbelievable offensive show. We ended up pulling it out 72-59 was the final score.
Wow,
We
nice
scored the most points in Tulsa's history yesterday.
You ever have any of those guys go to the NFL?
A lot of them have come down from the NFL usually, and there's been a couple of guys, not necessarily from our team that have moved up, but they've came down. They're trying to get some film, move back up to that UFL or the CFL. And we have a lot of guys that are right there. It's good football. play D1
Really?
college, and if you want to catch a game, hey, we play Friday night, 7:00 at the BOK. We're playing Jacksonville Sharks. They're a name if you're familiar with arena football. They have been around for a while, so it's going to be a great show. It's a great family atmosphere, cool, fun, air conditioning, loud music, just a cool, good time to bring the family.
We might want to show up to that.
Yeah, your son likes football.
Oh, my
He's
son
that
loves
age.
football. He's a quarterback.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, how do you want to wrap this up, Eric?
I'm gonna say thank you very much for your
Oh,
time,
man.
We
Thank
really
you guys,
appreciated
man.
getting to know you, and like I said, we watch those videos. And you never know how people are gonna be when you meet them, and he's a genuine guy, man. I couldn't.
Thank you.
Thank
I
I would
appreciate
agree.
that.
Yeah, it was a pleasure meeting you, and I'm sure
appreciate
we'll be
that.
able to establish a relationship.
No
moving
doubt about it.
forward,
No
and
doubt about it. Thank
we'd
you
like to help
guys.
you in any way we can. So,
Man,
Exactly.
ditto that.
I appreciate
ditto
you coming
that.
on.
Thank
So
you guys
one
for
last
having
thing.
me.
What
Yeah.
would be one bit of advice you'd give us, Eric and I? We're just starting, right? If you guys are watching, you guys might be in the same similar situation we are. We're trying to figure out where we're going with the podcast.
Yep.
We got a
Yep.
little bit of followers. Some videos do really good. Some videos, you're like, what the hell?
Yeah,
I
what
got
just
7
happened?
views?
I thought that was good.
Some
yeah.
are like clicking up at night. We're texting each other, hey, it's 12,000.
Hey, it's hitting.
might be
It's
going.
hitting.
There you go.
Going
And
off.
then it just goes.
It was all three of
And
us on
then
the
it
line
just
together.
stops, right?
So,
Yeah.
what would be one bit of advice, like easy, short advice you just give us? I know it's consistency of time, but simple advice.
I know. Don't stop.
Don't stop.
And I say that, that sounds, like something simple and easy because you think, but that's the number one thing that happens to people like that, have come to me and they say, well, I just got so many videos, just do well in a row and, it discouraged me. And it's like, don't stop.
Don't
Because
stop.
even if you're getting those 10, 15, you never know what that one person that sees the video, even, anything like that. Y'all are putting out good content, and that's one thing you got to know.
He's making us feel better.
You got to know to don't stop, don't quit. Keep putting out the quality content like this, and there's little tricks of the trade with the hashtags, the thumbnails, but you got the guy right over there for that too.
Yeah.
That's giving you your best chances to.
We'll leave it at
Make it go
that,
down.
folks.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
Yep.
Don't stop
Don't stop and go
stop.
all in.
Go all in.
and do better always.
BillyVSCO, thank you very much. I
Thank
appreciate
you guys. Appreciate it.